What is going on, guys? DBG here, and these are the best cards to pick up at every single budget if you are, well, if you're just playing NBA 2K22 MyTEAM with the current market crash, lads. So again, I'm recording this video Friday night. I'm currently, by the time this video is up, I'll be in Leeds. Hopefully by the time you'll have seen this, we'll have beaten Wolves. Hopefully, due to my fantasy football, Brendan Aronson and Rodrigo got returns. And hopefully it's like a 5-1 win with a Pedro Neto goal because I have him as well. But yeah, so anyway, let's get on to it. So first of all, if you are just starting out this game, this is the player you want. This is the guy that you want. You want Luka Doncic, Mystic. So no, if you're just starting out the game and you just want a cheap Luka Doncic small forward. So you see Luka Doncic small forward, you're looking at him for like 3,500-4,000 MT, which is absolutely nuts. An absolutely nuts price for him. If you want to get Luka at point guard, which he's even better, you're paying a little bit more. Just to get the Mystic version. Because the other versions are okay. You'd rather use the small forward one than any of the non-Mystic point guards. But still, 6,000 MT, I'm going to say for just like starting at the game, this 6,000 MT Luka Doncic is the perfect player. He's the perfect player. He's around 5k MT most of the time. You can get him. He's superb. He is absolutely superb. The best point guard in the game, not named Invincible, Luka Doncic. If you're on next gen, the best point guard in the game, period. Point blank, period, the best point guard in the game. Another player that might be a top 3 shooting guard in the game, I'm not even kidding, like Mystic Kawhi Leonard might be a top 3 shooting guard in all of my team. These two Mystic cards are a joke. They're an absolute joke. Like, you can pick up Mystic Kawhi Leonard for under 5,000 MT. Oh, he's more expensive than 5,000 MT. Okay, he was, the last time I checked, he was 5,000 MT, but now he's like a little bit over 5,000 MT. So again, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic, like that is my backcourt. That's going to be my backcourt for... See, I'm not entirely sure because I'm not 1,000,000% sure that... obviously, the other Kawhi is a power forward. That this Kawhi ends up taking the spot of the endgame Kawhi. I'm not sure which one I want to use, basically. 55 hops, ridiculous release. Ray Allen, he's glitchier. He's really difficult to contest. Kawhi's unbelievable. Again, if you guys want to look at the cheap Dark Matters in this game, if you guys want to look at Dark Matters for like under, like say 4.5 and 5k, there are so many really, really good players you can get in this price range. So I'll scroll till we see somebody good. Like Isaac's not bad, but I wouldn't suggest to pick up Isaac. With the amount of options you actually have at this price range, there are way better options than anything we've seen so far. Like even Kareem Anniversary is nice. He's not a bad card. This guy. A 7-foot tall, big player build center with Steph Curry release for 4,500 MT. One of the top 10 power forwards in all of my team, including the end games. One of the best players, like he is my second best non-endgame / invincible power forward in this game. After Ralph Sampson, who is also around this price as well, which is kind of crazy. But again, a Wiseman card that came out yesterday, or that came out, sorry, on Wednesday, absolutely brilliant. Again, I love Reggie Lewis. I wouldn't suggest for anyone to pick up a Reggie Lewis nowadays because you can just get better value players. Again, like freaking invincible Bill Russell for 5,000 MT. I know he came in the code, is not great, is not the maddest thing in the world. That Magic Johnson for 5k MT is actually a really good price for him. So I'm actually surprised we've scrolled this far before we've seen another player. Like I basically have a big list of players. I'm going to okay, I'm going to put in Kevin Durant. Tyler Hero is really good as well, by the way. Tyler Hero is a player that will be in with a shout, but like he's more of a player that I really like. So, 'tis the season, Kevin Durant. 'Tis the season, Kevin Durant is a shooting guard. Kevin Durant for 4,500 MT. A stupidly good card. A stupidly good card for 4,000 MT. 6'9", will shoot the lights out, will play defense, great length. And again, if you want to use Kevin Durant, he's a big name, he's perfect. Then there's Michael Jordan, Zero Gravity. Now, this is the second best cheap 2 guard in the game after Kawhi, but it's very close. Like Michael Jordan zero gravity might be as good as for 3,500 MT. He might be as good. He genuinely might be as good as a Kawhi Leonard. But this Michael Jordan here might be the most slept on. Like he's the second best under 5,000 MT point guard in the game. Like Michael freaking Jordan is 5,000 MT. Michael freaking Jordan is 5,000 MT. Like him and Luka for 10,000 MT, your point guard position sorted. Absolutely, positively sorted with these two guys. Sure, you might be like, oh, only 20, like 5 Hoff badges or whatever he came with. Like, dude, there's a 34 Hoff badge one here, which I'm going to buy for 4,500. Like, I just got a 34 Hoff badge version of a card. I got 9 extra Hoffs for nothing, for literally cheaper. People are putting these cards up for nothing right now. And, like, that is a perfectly great... That's one of the best point guards in the game I've sorted right there. Then, Ralph is another player that I like. This is actually the only auction version of Ralph Sampson this entire year. But what you're getting with Ralph is you're getting a unbelievable release, 7'4" shooter who's fast. Again, you do want to give him the hyperdrive badge. And like the crazy thing is that if you liquidate 1,000 tokens and just discard every one of your badges, like it'll take like 20 minutes. But like 100 tokens gives you... What's it? It's 10 tokens basically gives you 1,000 MT. So 100 tokens gives you 10k. That gives you 100k MT. Like, so if you've got 1,000 tokens sitting there, liquidate them all into gold badges. Quick sell every one of those gold badges. Sure, it'll probably take you about an hour, but that's 100,000 MT. And that's enough MT to sort you for the year. That is enough MT to sort you for the year. But like, Ralph is freaking him. Like one of the best power forwards in the game. Like there's a reason I think he's better than like half of the endgame cards. And like I think Ty will agree he's better than most. He's way better than like endgame Anthony Davis and stuff, which is why endgame AD is just straight up not on this list. I know he's cheap. He's just straight up not on this list because I just don't think he's worth it. And like a lot of guys you're not going to see on this list. I'm not going to put like LeBron on the list. Because like if you're a LeBron James fan, go for the endgame. Please go for the endgame. Do not go for a LeBron that's not the endgame if you're a LeBron James fan. If you're not a LeBron James fan, like just use Kawhi, he's better. Or use this guy. This guy's better than both endgame LeBron James. Lamar Odom. He's better than both the endgame LeBron James cards. Because I just don't like endgame LeBron. I've said it from the start that I thought Odom was better than LeBron. But like again, Odom you're paying 4,000 MT for. And what you're paying 4,000 MT for is a 6'11 player or 6'10 player with tray fade, ridiculous defensive animations, perfect stats. As well as that, he comes with 78 of the 80 badges, 23 golds. Again, you're not going to notice the difference between 78 or 23 golds, 55 Hoffs, and 80 Hoffs. You're not going to notice in any way the difference between that. So for me, like, Lamar Odom really is him. Lamar Odom is one of the best players in the game that you guys can get for extremely, extremely cheap. So now we are on to a little bit more expensive. And now this is just a weird card, and I'm going to just talk about him if you want to buy him. And I just found it really weird. Like, this card consistently comes up for 10,000 MT snipes. Point guard Larry Bird. I sniped my one for 9,500 MT. Like, you're looking... He regularly has come up. I've seen him whenever I've been searching for point guards. So he's around 20k. I wouldn't buy him at 20k because you can just get endgame Larry Bird. But I'm still like... I'm not too upset about him as a card. But I really do want to make this very clear. Endgame Larry Bird, you can easily get him for like 25k. Like you can see 22,000, 21,500. Endgame Larry Bird is one of the best endgame cards in the game, period. He's better than LeBron James. He's cheaper than LeBron James. He's way better than Carmelo Anthony. Because what endgame Larry Bird gives you is that endgame Larry Bird actually moves like a guard. He has this really good like motion that he moves like he's a guard. As well as that, he's still an endgame. He's still got decent height, good wingspan, good player build. And he plays lanes as well as anyone I've ever seen in this game. Larry Bird is him. He is a player that I would really like look to go for. And if you're looking for an endgame point guard, this is the best player for you. J.R. Smith. Because he kind of gives you a little bit of everything. Well, there's two guys you can really go for. There's J.R. Smith, who's going to move a lot better. Like, J.R. is going to really move the best out of these two guys. And there's LaMelo Ball, who's that little bit more expensive, but a lot of the time you can get LaMelo Ball for quite cheap. Like, he's around 30. I think I would stick with J.R. I mean, J.R. is basically Kobe. So LaMelo actually was around 20k earlier today. He's gone up 10k. He's 6'8". Doesn't move as well as JR, but he's going to play better defense. I think I'd go for J.R. Smith over him, honestly. I really like J.R. Smith, and especially at the price. I think I'd take a J.R. Like, he's just a copy and paste of Kobe. To be Curry slides. So yeah, that's one of the players. And another player that is, if you're going for a big man, and you're looking for an end game, there's only one player that I look at, it's Porzingis. Like, I just thought maybe. Like, I would easily, like, for my squad, like, I'm going to make, like, a lineup update video. Over 40. He was, like, 35 yesterday. What? Or he was, like, 35. I don't want to pay 50 for him. Like, he is 50. I still think 50 is worth it as far as big men go. Because he is, like, the third best of the bigs. Like, there's obviously, we all know who the two best are, and it's Taco and Yao, and he's, like, number 3. So he's around, like, 48, 47. So I'm just going to see, I'm just going to chuck a bid, like, a 45 in, because I know I'll be able to comfortably get him for 50. I'm going to chuck a bid of, like, 45 on him. And if I get him, I get him. Someone has 40, someone's going to outbid me on that. It's indifferent. But I would definitely look at Kristaps, because as far as the bigs go, that is another player. And another guy I would kind of look at is Kareem. But Kareem's not the cheapest. Like, I would dodge Shaq at all costs. I would dodge Shaq at all costs. But, like, Kristaps and Kareem are two players that I will say are definitely better than Ralph Sampson and James Wiseman, whereas I don't think Shaq is. I don't think Shaq's better than those guys. Like, Kareem is a little bit expensive, especially because he did come in those endgame option packs. So, like, 60k, 3k. Is he as good as Kristaps? Maybe, but he's really, really good. Another player I would definitely look at if you're looking for endgame cards is Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is a card that actually was down as low as 30k earlier today. I don't think he's that low anymore. Like, you're still paying under 50 for him. And again, I'm not too worried about this guy because I chose him. I got absolutely scammed, but I did choose him from my pack on Tuesday. I actually won Kristaps. Wow. I might as well just quick sell. I actually won Kristaps for like 45. I'll take it. But yeah, like, Kareem's really good and Giannis is also really, really good. And they're probably the endgame players that I would stick with. Like, I'm just going to show you guys the endgame. Like, I've got quite a few endgames. I only have 12 of them. But, like, some of them that are very expensive. Like, Ben Simmons is not worth 100k. Point guard Kareem is probably not worth... Is he over 100? I don't think he's worth 100. And in this market, I don't think Shaq's worth getting. I don't think either of the Jordans are worth getting because I actually think Zero Gravity Jordan's better. As the reason why I'm not putting, like, Kawhi Leonard on this list. Carmelo Anthony, if you're a Carmelo Anthony fan, he's a really good shooting guard. Especially because you can get him in around the 20k MT mark. He's a really good shooting guard. I would avoid Luka at all costs. This Luka more so than this Luka. In my opinion, this Luka is actually better because at least, like, you're not going to want... If you're... At least this Luka can play the shooting guard position. Like, that's actually a benefit. Like, this Luka can play shooting guard, whereas Mystic Luka can't. This is the best Luka Doncic in the game that can play the shooting guard position, in my opinion. Even though he doesn't have the Luka release. Tracy McGrady's not cheap at all. I don't think he's any better than LaMelo. This Tracy McGrady for 40, 50k is actually a steal. Ooh, this might actually be one of the best two guys in the game. This Tracy McGrady is really nice. The only issue is that I have Kevin Durant already, so I don't really need him. Kevin Durant's not a bad card. I don't think a lot of the end games aren't too bad, but the only issue is that I'm not sure how many of these are actually better than Mystic Kawhi, which is why I'm not really hyping them. And one player, if you just want to have fun, and you want a player that is just recently now cheap, Manu Ginobili is that guy. If you just want to have fun, you're not, like, too fussed about whether or not the player is the greatest player in the world. I still think Manu Ginobili is like a top 15 point guard in the game. I think he's just really just good, and you can have a hell of a lot of fun just cooking people Manu. I think for the 10,000 MT that I just bought him for there, that Manu Ginobili is an absolute steal. And I don't know. In my actual squad, I don't believe in running end games, and I don't believe in running this is not my squad. My squad is Mystic Kawhi, wherever he is. Who's my small forward? I can't even remember who I run a small forward. Either way, it's no end games anyway. And then a power forward, I play Wiseman. Yeah, like I don't use any end games. Rashard Lewis I wouldn't use anyway. But like if I'm running my actual squad, it'd be this. And then I don't even know what I'd run if I was running my freaking just God squad. But yeah, they're players that I would really look at with the market down. I'd look at those cheap players more so than anything. And most of the end games, the only end games that I really think are like really worth going for are like Giannis, because he's significantly better at small forward than any of the like really cheap options. I think that J.R. Smith is a different point guard to a Luka, but I think he does offer a lot more than any of the non-Luka cheap options. Other than, actually, you know what, Jordan offers more than that. But I do think like Mystic Y is better than like any of the cheap options at the shooting guard position. Like other than Giannis, Odom is actually better at small forward than any of the other options at small forward. I think Wiseman and Ralph are better than all the bigs that are cheap except for Kristaps. And then obviously I think Durant is just a really good tall shooting guard. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.